Hi guys, welcome back to Our Perspective. As you can see, you see my face. We on a different type of time. In 2024. I know I've been, and you haven't heard from me, but I feel like every few episodes we just go through these little wavelengths of break time, but we back and I'm connecting with you and we better. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about today, but I feel like this has been on my mind for a couple of weeks now, and I've been contemplating on doing another audio episode or just going with the visual to give you guys more of a connection with me and who I am and the face behind Our Perspective. So I kind of just ripped the band-aid off and said, let's do it. So a little update. I have just turned 25 in the last week. And when I tell you, it's been 8 days. And I already feel like I'm going through a midlife crisis. Trust me, that's what it is. Definitely in this season of my life, there has been a lot of shedding old skin, a lot of learning who I am, learning where I'm going, learning who's coming with me, learning what are some things that I need to work on, learning what are some things that I need to work on in my environment. Just kind of things like that. And I guess where I'm going with this is the season of shedding old skin. And that doesn't necessarily mean solely shedding old people out of your life or shedding old anything historical, anything like just shedding. I'm genuinely meaning shedding people, shedding habits, shedding negative mentality, shedding anything old that does not help you propel forward. And that can mean many of things, many of things. Within this last year, there was a lot of destruction and there was a lot of light that came out of it. And those who know me personally know that J. Cole is my favorite artist. And I heavily believe in there's beauty in the struggle. Because in life, we can have a whole bunch of success. We can succeed, great. But where is a time and where is the seasons where we develop our character? We develop who we are. We develop the resilience. We develop being able to navigate certain spaces, navigate in spaces, and navigate out of spaces that no longer serve us. Where does that development build? And that builds under pressure. That builds under the destruction. That builds under the breakthrough. Being 25 right now, 8 days in, I'm not a pro yet, so not too much, but just being 8 days into this new age, I feel like there's a lot of work to be done, but there's also so much. There's so much that has been accomplished. And being in the middle where you feel like you're not doing enough and you have done so much, it's like a tug of war that you play with yourself. And I'm here to tell you, for those who can relate, I'm here to tell you that it is okay. It is okay. Because you're in a space right now where you're figuring it out. And not all of us have the answers. Not all of us have the answers. Nobody has a handbook on how to be an adult. Nobody has a handbook on how to be a mom, a dad, building your career. Nobody has a handbook to nothing. We're all figuring it out on our own, with or without our village. It's okay to make decisions and do things without the approval of others. It is okay. And I know there may be people in certain situations where relationships with your family members are not the best, or there may be someone who is no longer here that is very close to you that you would want them a part of a process that you're going through, a part of a journey that you're going through. You would want to hear a little bit of their advice and how they think about what's going on. Even if it's like a parent, even if it's like a cousin or an aunt, X, Y, and Z. It is okay to trust yourself. I think that's something that we can tend to struggle with. Like, we may have an idea or want to make a decision about something, but we're second guessing our own thoughts. We're second guessing our own opinion. And even though we may think that it's the best thing for us or it's the best decision to make right now, there's still that thing in the back of your head that is saying, no, don't take the risk. It's too dangerous. What if this happens? What if this happens? What if this happens? And realistically, that's fear. That's fear. If the next step in your life requires you to bet on yourself, what are you waiting for? I'm waiting. What are you hearing? What are you waiting for? If the next season in your life requires you to bet on yourself, what are you waiting for? What's holding you back? What's holding you back? And don't get me wrong, it can be a number of things. It can be the situation you're in. It can be your finances. It can be the career you have right now is not something that's ideal. It can be a number of things. But there's always going to be a number of things. There's always going to be something. And something that I tell the people in my life too, like, you're never going to feel like it's the right time to do something. You're never going to feel like it's the right time. You can best prepare yourself 100%. You can build a foundation. You can cross your I's, dot your T's, however the saying goes. But there's never going to be an actual right time. And an example of this is, I'll give you a little bit of my personal experience. I graduated college in 2021 with my bachelor's in psych, and I told myself I wanted to take a year off just to have time for myself and just figure it out as far as like my personal situation, my personal life, and just put it on hold for a little bit. I've been in school for X amount of time, just need to dial it back to me. And there was people in my ear, specifically close to me, who said that I wasn't going to go back to school. I was just going to work and get lazy and not pursue my career, X, Y, Z. But me, in my mind, I knew what I wanted and I knew what I was going to do. I just needed time. That didn't mean I was putting my goals and my future on the back burner. It just needed to scoot a little bit. And that was okay. When it was time for me to think about enrolling back in school, here it is now, a year later, I broke my ankle. And that was a time. That was a time. And during this time, I had just gotten a new car. And I didn't have money. I didn't have money to feed myself. I didn't have money to pay my bills. I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything. I was going off of whatever was left when I was working before I broke my foot. And when I broke my foot, it obviously required me to have surgery. So I was out of work for 3 months, I would say. Yeah, 3 months. And the enrollment period was around this time for me to start in August. I broke my foot in February, for context. I think it was like June-ish? No, actually, the school that I go to, it has like different type of tracks, so you can enroll at different times. I remember the time where I was deciding to enroll, I wasn't even in a cask where I couldn't walk on it. I was hopping on a walker. And I had nothing to my name. And it was a $300 fee to, I can't remember the name of the fee that you have to give. It's a non-refundable fee when you do it's like after the application, when you about to pick your classes and stuff like that. I can't remember. And it was $300. And I had no idea where I was going to get it from. I had no idea. And I say this to say, during this season of my life, it definitely tested my faith. And for those of you who are religious or believe in God and a God, you understand what I'm saying. Definitely was a season that tested my faith faith, but it was a season where I learned myself so much. I learned so much about myself, and I was able to relax in the struggle. Because if you know me, you know that I work like I have no life, and I work nonstop. But there's a reason. There's obviously a purpose. I'm not going to work with my head cut off and there's no end goal. And right before this happened, there were people in my life who were telling me, you need to slow down. You need to slow down. You need to stop working so much. You're burning yourself out. You're doing this, you're doing that. And one person specifically told me, if you don't sit down, God is going to force you. Just give that a little moment. If you don't sit down, God is going to force you. And what happened? He definitely forced me. He definitely forced me. But there was a reason. And in the moment, you don't realize the lessons that God is trying to teach you, or the character development you need to build, or the obstacles that are put in your space in order to overcome them and grow from them. And there was a lot of things that were in my life that were not for me. There was a lot of people in my life that were not for me. And although I had an idea of that, it wasn't until I was put in that position specifically to where it was in my face, front and center. Forgive me because I forgot why I was even mentioning this in the first place. Beauty and the struggle. Yes. So yeah, there's never gonna be a right time. I would say, like I said before, this season of my life definitely tested my faith in God. And when I tell you I had nothing to my name during this time, I never went without. Believe that. I never went without during this time. And I was able to enroll in school. And thinking about it, a year later, I have a year left. And in the space that I am in right now, I think to myself, like, if I didn't start when I did, I would have never started. I would have never started. Because to think if I would just start later than what I did, forget it. Forget it. I don't want to sound like I'm rambling, but I'm saying this to say to embrace. Oh, hold on. We're not going to do all that. Embrace the change. Embrace the lessons. Embrace the development. Embrace everything that you need to in this moment. Embrace everything that you need to in this season in your life, and ask yourself, what is the goal right now? What am I supposed to be learning? What is the purpose? What is my purpose? And where am I going? Once you address those things with yourself, you'll have a little bit more of a clear vision of where you're going. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not just chatting for fun. I promise. For the past 5 years, I've been doing vision boards every year for the next year. And I've been writing letters to myself about reflecting over the past year, and I just went blank. I've been doing vision boards, and I've been writing letters to myself reflecting over the past year from before, and being very specific about my goals, about what I want to happen in the next coming year. So I divide that in different categories, whether it be physical, spiritual, mental, financial, relational, like what I want my relationships to look like with people, personal development wise and career wise. And I'm very specific about what I want to attain by the time I open that letter. And it has been tremendously helpful, tremendously eye-opening, and definitely kind of adjust your perspective a little bit on where you're at. You see what I did there? So me not doing those things, I wouldn't know. I'd be lost. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be lost. For the simple fact that this keeps me grounded, and it keeps me focused, and it keeps my visions aligned with where I still want to go. And if you want to talk more about that, if you need any assistance with that, we do have a Letter to Yourself PDF booklet that I created myself in order to help you do the same. And this is not something that has to be done in December, the last week of December only, and you open it the next year. You can do it at any time. Anytime. Whether it be January, February, March, April, so on and so on, and you open it a year later. Even if you want to open it 6 months later, you can curate it to where how you want it. But this PDF is designed to help you get on track and analyze where you are right now compared to where you want to be. So I would definitely, I'm not haunting you, but I would definitely check that out and go purchase a PDF booklet, because you're not going to regret it. And if you know me, and if you want to get to know me personally, I can physically show you the results of my intentional prayer, my intentional manifestation, my intentional decisions that I'm making each and every step towards my goals in order to attain it. I can physically show you that. So with that being said, go take a look at the PDF booklet that is on our website. And we do have some mental health affirmation stickers that are also on there. There's a couple of new ones. Go take a look. Go put them on your water bottle, laptop, car, wherever you want to put them. Share and spread the word. This is really bothering me. I'm sorry, y'all. Share and spread the word with other people. And here's to more visual content. Don't get on me if it's not consistent, but we're here, and we thriving. So that's it for me, and that's it for this episode. If you like it, please make sure to share, tell a friend, and seize the day, and don't let the day seize you. Till next time.